All right. To say hi and tell us where. Hey.
Hey, Coach. Hey, everybody.
From give it a couple of minutes.
Yes, sir.
Did you just post that, or did I post that at the same time? Did you post anything?
No.
Oh, it showed up twice. That's weird. Crazy.
Yeah, once on YouTube and once on Facebook.
Got it. Okay, we'll give it a minute to do this, and let me set this up here. Hey, Kev, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Day one. This is a surprise episode, so we'll see how many people can get in here. We'll give it a couple minutes to get going. I wish I could pause this. Last time we had an interesting thing where I posted, again, if you're watching, just pop into the comments and say hello and let us know where you're from, what part of the world you're from. Last time I played a little video for a couple of minutes showing people some cool shit that we've done over the years. But I had AC/DC playing, which is from an album that I purchased, and Sony Music blocked all of our live presentations. It was wonderful. And hey, Git, how you doing? And Patagonia, Stockholm, I love it. Let's go. Tag your friends. This is going to be a short and sweet one. Like, I'm trying to keep this at 45 minutes and moving from here. The reason we're doing the No Fear Live for people logging in now and new to this, the No Fear Live is it's an opportunity for me to really engage with people from all over the world. And with the No Fear podcast, it's still happening. We're still doing the No Fear podcast, of course. That'll be specific, more studio quality interviews with specific people, but I will be getting people into the No Fear program here. So the great thing about the live format is this idea that this show allows me to interact with you. And let me see. I'm trying to stream this to Instagram as well on the side here. And I don't know which side I want to be on here for that. I think I want to go here. Hey, Instagram Live. I don't know if I can I switch the camera while I'm live? Yeah, I can. So Instagram Live here. We are waiting for people to pop in, and we're doing the StreamYard app. So I'm on multiple platforms: LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and so on and so forth. It's going to be hard for me to go back and forth here, but today, what I was saying was, and crazy how many people are on Instagram and not on other platforms. But let me switch back here, and maybe I'll just keep this on this angle here, which is kind of stupid. But I'm going to switch back here like this, so you guys can see me and hear me and talk to me here from this here. I'll try to get to both areas here. We haven't figured out everything, but we've got people from Stockholm, from Boston, from Montana, Canada, La Jolla, California, or Mexico. No, Mexico probably, and then overseas. What I was saying for people on Instagram, I'm going to talk over here for a second. This is going to be about 45 minutes. I'm going to be talking about the rotational speed, rotational force, and its applications on self-defense. And I'm going to get a little nerdy on some of this stuff, but we're going to focus on the topic is spinning back fist. Would you use a spinning back fist in a self-defense situation? And what I'm going to do here, gang, is log into my Vimeo, and hopefully everything is up here. Stand by. I forgot to set this up, but I want to show, and I'll
send you
flip
the link.
I've got it, but where's the, I don't have, Elisa, the highlight reel that I showed on the Substack video here.
It couldn't upload it. It was too long. I texted you.
Okay. Hang on a second. So I'm going to do this. Guys, watch this Substack. And this is a good chance also, Lisa, pop in the Substack. Pop in the Substack link for people. So guys on Instagram, I'm going to show you this here. Let me flip the camera. And I want to show you this. That's a great fucking, okay. So I want to show you guys this here. Let me set this up here. Let me go back to StreamYard. Let me share screen. This is insane. Opera window. Sorry. There we go. Okay. Can you guys see that? Elisa, you guys can see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
So guys, watch this. So the question that I pose is, would you use a spinning back fist in a self-defense situation? So if you check out this here, this is an article from Substack, and I'm just going to play this. Watch the beginning of this here.
His brother.
It's pretty insane.
Both these guys. Oh, fantastic spinning back elbow. Oh what?
Okay. Pretty fucking insane. Now, every martial artist in the world will go, and I'm going to play it again, watch it again. Every martial artist is like, oh, that's amazing. I got to learn how to do that. The question I posed, and I want you all, if you can, go read this article in Substack. And again, the link is in there. And those of you on Instagram, it's just TonyBlauer.substack. I'll pop it up there, TonyBlauer.substack.com. And this is from the article. Let's watch this again because I want to point something out to you. And it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, both these guys. Oh,
okay, now here is what I want you guys to. How do I get back to StreamYard? Stand by. So I'm still in here. I'm still talking on the side here. This is wonderful. And let me switch this back here so you guys can hear me talk and hear me rant. Okay. When I pose this, we get different answers. We get like, oh, it depends. It depends. It's situational. As a self-defense consultant, somebody who's only interested in your safety, why would you turn your back on purpose to a real threat? Why would you turn your head to a real threat? Why would you spin when you're in a truly violent encounter? The most important element is your mobility, your stability, your balance for generating speed, for generating force, for creating an angle, from disengaging, from charging the threat. So if you read the article, and that's really the thing I want you to do, is go to that Substack and read that article. You'll understand it. I'm going to come back and show you something here because I have a pretty good spinning back fist because I've been a lifelong martial artist. The spinning back fist is a high level complex motor skill, and it works in combat sports. And I always it's not even a philosophy. I kind of rant about this. In modern combat sports, you have video, you have tape, you know the weight class, you know the time of the fight, you know who you're fighting, you know what the rules are. And while there's a degree of courage needed to do it, you've agreed to the fight. We call this ACP, awareness, consent, and preparation. And when those are factored in, you can now plan a strategy. And I'm going to show you something else here on the video. And how do I go to full screen on this video here? There we go. Am I still sharing? I'm still sharing it, right? Okay. So check this out here. I'm going to go back to this, guys. Let me flip this around. Okay, so that you can see this. And then I want you to see something here. I'm going to stop the frame here. Watch this. I missed it because I'm looking at my phone. Watch here. He hasn't hit the guy yet. If I can get this fucking ad out of here. Look where his feet and his hips are already, and he's turning. So he knows this guy drops his hands. He clipped him with a right. His right was actually less powerful than the left because the right was a setup, a smoke screen for the spinning forearm, elbow, fist, whatever he hits him with. This is a complex motor skill that this high-level athlete practiced and knew in his, like what we call the 3 I's, instincts, intuition, intelligence. He knew it was going to work against this fighter. But I want you to look down here at the guy's feet and hips. This is all premeditated. It's practice. It's a neural pattern. He's already in motion. Watch it in full motion again.
His brother. Yep. He's got, oh, fantastic!
So the last thing that hits there is literally the strike because everything was set up perfectly. Now, in here, guys, go read this because there's a lot of details in here. Remember my focus for you guys is specifically how do I make you safer? So I'm sharing this information that we usually share with our instructor development and all of that. And there's a whole video in here for people who are on our paid program. And I want to show you one other thing here while I've got the streaming up here. And this is a gorgeous spinning elbow from a friend of ours at Combat Sports Academy. Shout out to Dream Killer and of course his team and Kieran Fitzgibbons. Watch this, gang, here. Watch this. It's gorgeous. I might get blocked because of the music. Elisa, we got to shut that music off.
Do we still see the baseball picture?
We're probably going to get blocked again because of that. Fuck. Okay. Anyways, you guys see that there? Let me stop the screen share for a second and come back here. Let me switch this, guys. So again, what I'm trying to help you understand, when we practice complex motor skills, what we're actually doing is our brain serves and works the anticipatory cells, our conscious bias, our neural patterns, all of this stuff is working to try and make something we're good at happen. We want to do the spinning back fist because it's good. We've worked on it. We have a relationship with it. It's a cool move. We think it can get in. But I need you to think about this for all of you on this episode of No Fear Live right now. If you're a martial artist, and a lot of you are, if you follow me, you're into martial arts. Let me take a swig of this drink. Hold on a second. Think about all the years of your sparring, and you've all practiced jump back kicks and spinning back fists and spinning back fists. When you're in front of a bag or a focus pad and you're thinking about you're doing your spinning back fist or your back kick, you do it when you want to do it. Now compare that with sparring with a friend and sparring with somebody who's better than you. Suddenly, like if I'm holding a pad for you and I do your spinning back fist, now go. You'll do 10 in a row. But now in that same minute, if I'm sparring with you, if we're the same level, you might not throw it once or you might try it once. If I do that same minute of time with somebody who's better than you, who's got better movement than you, who will punch you in the fucking head, you won't even think about doing it. You might think about you doing it, but you wouldn't dare do it because fear is interfering with you launching that shot. I want everyone to absorb this and contemplate this now. In other words, and here's the big light bulb moment. If there are situations where you're sparring or competing where you wouldn't dare do this because the person in front of you represents too much danger or threat to turn your back, why would you contemplate doing that in a street fight? And I don't like the term street fight. I like violent encounter. Most street fights are what I call the technical term in our system is a douchebag fight, meaning you could have avoided, you could have de-escalated, you could have walked away. And this is something that we don't teach people enough in the self-defense community. I'm going to show you a 2-minute video, approximately 2 minutes, of a class we did on Wednesday. So I saw these videos, and I've seen, like in last week's talk, we did boxing for self-defense, where there are videos of people lighting people up with their hands, and then everyone goes, see, boxing works. But we're not looking at possible versus probable. We're not looking at injuries to the hand, time to train, scalability, and so on and so forth. And what that means is, like the video we showed last week, if you haven't seen it, was a security guard who used to be a pro boxer getting attacked by, I think, 6 guys in a traffic circle in some road rage situation. And these guys are running at him, and he's fucking dropping people left and right. And it looks like a shitty choreography to a Shaw Brothers kung fu movie for the you old timers there who remember what Shaw Brothers is. And the point being here is, yeah, that guy was a pro boxer. He had the complex motor skills. He had the confidence. He wasn't being swarmed. He was literally being attacked one by one, like in a kung fu movie, by people who were leading with their face, coming in like this to attack him. And he was just, if my mic is somebody, ding, here, boom. Sorry if I popped your ears on that. Not that it was easy, but it was easy because he had the skill, he had the awareness, he had the preparedness, and he had shitty attackers. So I want you all, Instagram and everyone else on the other platforms, to recognize this. And part of why I'm sharing this stuff here is I'm trying to bring us together in the martial art world, and to be able to look at what is a credible self-defense threat and what is it that we need to be bringing to our training to make our students safer, to make ourselves safer, to make our families safer. So I'm going to show you a video. This is from Wednesday, so it's literally yesterday. It was yesterday's garage gym class. And I want anyone here who's a combatives instructor, a defensive tactics instructor, into self-defense for yourself, to look at the nuance in how we're teaching this. So what I did was, and let me set this up, is in case you haven't guessed this, if you asked me, should I do a spinning back fist? And if you read the article, I tell people spinning back fist is a complex motor skill. So this article is really for people who are martial artists who have figured out how to, spin their body and turn this spinning movement into, the hammer fist or the Shudo strike or a forearm or the elbow. And so it's a complex motor skill. It's already in your wheelhouse. And now what I do, and it's what I do with everything, is I tie in the SPEAR system physiology, kinesiology, psychology together. So this is truly the science of self-defense. How can we optimize you? How can we optimize any of you watching this, regardless of whether you're doing jiu-jitsu, Krav Maga, boxing, Muay Thai, or you've done nothing? Here's what I will tell you, and I will say this in every No Fear Live where I'm doing like free education for you. Situational awareness is a conscious cognitive skill. That means you need to be awake, you need to be aware, and you need to have the ACP, the awareness, consent, preparation. In other words, I think we talked about this last time. One of our quotes is, awareness without skill is anxiety. Meaning if I see danger coming towards me, but I've got no idea how to solve that problem, that's just anxiety. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get my ass kicked in 10 seconds. I'm going to get my ass kicked tomorrow. So you need to have a solution in order for you to have hope, right? Oh, fuck, if I hide here, they won't see me. If I pick this up, maybe I can use that as an improvised weapon. So, we need to have awareness and skill. That doesn't guarantee victory, but at least I've got the necessary components. So recap, I don't think you should ever do a spinning back fist in a street fight. Now, watch this video, and then I'm gonna reverse engineer the language here. I'll be back with you guys here, spinning this in a second. Let me go to present, share screen, tab, and Vimeo. Where are you? Boom. Here, go to Vimeo. Stand by, gang. You're watching me navigate the backside here. All right, and here we go. It's 2 minutes and 21 seconds. I may Let me help you guys here. Stand by. So it's me teaching on Wednesday. I'm over here. I get slammed against the wall here, and I'm locked in here, and I'm turned. So I want you to think about here. You're getting your keys out of your car, and someone comes up to you and slams you into your car. You're taking a leak in the bathroom. Somebody slams you. They're about to attack you. They slam you into the wall like you're in a John Wick movie, right? You're in an elevator, the attack happens, and so on and so forth. So there's where the spin comes off the wall. Off here, when I'm turning around, there's that shot. I'm off the wall, rotating. So I want you to understand here, and I'll revisit this when I spin the cameras around, that I'm thrown and spun, and there's an interesting thing, and I'll show you back in the picture. To give you some perspective. I've done a lot of spinning back fists, so I'm hitting with the hammer fist. If I was pushing away danger, watch the shot here, right? There's the hand, that's the index palm. Rotating, thumb down, pinky up. If Bob were closer to me, right? So think back here where Dream Killer dropped the guy with the elbow. You need to have the right distance. But if somebody slammed me into a wall, told me not to move, and with my peripheral vision, I see that he's like up over my shoulder, reaching into my pocket with his right hand. I can't do this because of this here properly. But I got slammed here. I'm like, oh fuck! This is that same belly button to the spine, feet traction. Wham! There's the elbow coming right off. I'm going to pause this here. I want to show you a picture here. Stay with me. Stay with me. Where is my Substack? I think I've got to stop, switch tab. I got to go to here. Okay. Check this out. This picture here. Baseball bat comes flying into the stands. Look at the rotational force on this guy. Everyone's moving away from danger. But why is this guy rotating? Is there a problem, Elisa?
Yeah, I can see it now. Still seeing the mirror.
You couldn't see anything?
No, we're still on Vimeo.
It's supposed to switch. There we go. Can you see it now?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So guys, sorry about that. Everyone on Instagram saw it because we switched over here. Look at this. Baseball bat gets broken from home plate, comes flying up. Everyone's moving away from danger. And then what we see here is the guy, and I need you to understand that this guy is, in terms of the picture and what we see, the closest to the danger because the bat is elevating up right from home plate. So this guy's super close. This guy's starting to turn. You see the rotation starting, but this guy's completely rotated. So think back to the position that I was in against the wall, right? Where now we turn, hands go against the wall here. The threat is behind me. The attack is still ongoing. Okay, let me stop the share here. And let me go back to StreamYard here. And let me reverse this here and see if this makes sense here. Okay, so what I want you to understand with this here, and again, I'm just trying to make you safer, so take this with a grain of salt. I'm new at this. I've only been studying violence for aggression for 43 years. So there might be something in there for you. Consider this. Nobody here thinks to flinch. All of you flinch. It's a non-conscious movement. The body, the cross extensor chain, rotates away from danger. If the danger is super close and it comes in through our peripheral vision, our blind spot, we will cover like this. If it comes in towards me, so if I'm looking at you guys on Instagram and something attacks me from this distance, the hands will come up, but the fingers will splay and push away danger. If, again, I'll do it for you guys on the other platforms, micro flinch here, if my body, and we talk about this all the time in the garage gym training, you are a human weapon. Your brain and your body and your mind are fucking genius. The way it can process spatial relationship, regain balance, rotate, move away. But I need you to understand that the startle flinch movement overrides our cognitive brain. That's why everyone flinches. And so what we do in the SPEAR system is we're always looking for ways to integrate physiology, kinesiology, and psychology so that we have a scientific platform that underpins everything that we're teaching. So the concept here is I would never do a spinning back fist in a self-defense situation unless I was caught off guard and the attack, I'm getting the keys out of my car. I'm taking money out of a bank machine, and all of a sudden I get hit and I spin away. And as I spin, I look back to find what the problem is. And now I see the person moving towards me, and they can eat an elbow or a forearm or that open hand. I hope you guys could see that. I don't know what you saw there. Like the video that I showed you. The body, the rotational force of the startle flinch is it's a neural pattern of turning away from danger for specific attacks from an oblique angle. And this is uniform across the human species. So it's not, Elisa, do we have that neuroanatomy slide from the doctors up there? You know, the one, the disengage from noxious stimuli slide? If we don't have.
No, not uploaded yet.
Okay. So this is neuroscience, guys. And we built the entire SPEAR system off of neuroscience. When would I do a full spin, a 360-degree spin? That would be that the attack threw me and I stepped away and I could rotate around. Part of how I teach it, and I didn't show it here because, you know, obviously people pay for the lessons in the garage gym, and I would love all of you to jump into that. But what happens is when we rotate, the kinetic energy and the centripetal force can make us rotate more. I'll see if I can. So here would be, I'll move this a little bit. I'll move this a little bit. I get thrown this way against the wall, and I go slam, and I come in, and I'm coming back off the wall. When would I spin away, turn, and rotate around and come? I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys at this angle. When would I rotate around completely? Well, I wouldn't do it on purpose because I couldn't do it on purpose because it's a surprise attack. What I need to respect and integrate is that the attack, we have an expression, the bad guy controls the fight, and it's quite provocative. And what it means is the time and location of a surprise attack is always influenced by the bad guy. The level of violence in the sudden attack is always initiated by the bad guy. Now, the duration of the fight is up to me. I got to figure out how to solve that problem. Okay. And it's easier said than done. What I need everyone new to the system to understand is this: when a stimulus is introduced too quickly, your executive function that controls, you know, your memory systems, which connects to my complex motor skill. So if I asked all of you, what would you do if a guy came at you from, you know, your 5 o'clock angle, this is 12 o'clock, your 5 o'clock angle, and he was coming at you to that sucker punch? You'd say, well, I'd step in, I'd block, I'd step back, I'd side kick. We all have theoretical answers. But the reality is ambushes happen. And so the way you make yourself safer is by studying and analyzing what the startle flinch provides us. There's an organic opportunity there. So when I flinch, I've got rotational force, rotational speed. How do I turn that around? And that's part of what we study. So I look at real violent encounters and try to find a hidden arsenal inside of that potential. Let me give you a really cool visual example. Everyone on these calls here, and I got Instagram going over here, and I got 6 other platforms going over here. I'm going to need a cigarette and a cold shower after, because this is insanely exhausting here. But everyone goes fucking startle flinches. Everyone does that. Every one of you have done that. You don't think to do it. It's because the stimulus got introduced too quickly. In our system, when we flinch, we know that if there's time and space, the body is going to try to naturally orient towards the danger. So if I yell to you, look out, and you believe it, your hands go up here, and then you start to peek with your peripheral vision, your auditory sense, your peripheral vision, your intuition starts to, where's the threat? And now, if we see it coming at us, our body will naturally go, fuck, and our hands will come out. So I recognized this back in the 80s and figured out a way to weaponize the startle flinch. Now, what if, and if you do, you know, Karate Kid, Kung Fu, and your favorite stance is the crane stance, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just you showing this as an illustration. Your complex motor skills are neural patterns. There's no such thing as muscle memory in the literal sense. Muscles don't have the capacity to hold a memory. There's motor engrams in your brain, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to get into that. If I decide to go, you know, crane stance, but just before that, I'm minding my own business and a guy goes, fuck you, and he comes at me and I go, whoa, and I flinch. Now I've got to go from this startle flinch to the crane stance. And you can do it pretty fast if you practice that. But what I considered was inside of the startle flinch, is there a protective movement? And that's our thesis statement. What does your body want to do prior to any training? Does that have a protective or tactical application in the real world? If so, why isn't that the base of our training, the nucleus of our training? So watch this. Now I'm standing here. I get surprised. I flinch, and our spear stance continues the crossed extensor chain of the neuroscience. Do we have that slide yet or no? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. Okay. I'll see if I have time to pop it up because I want to keep this after. Have you message Jenny right away and ask her for the neuroanatomy slide?
Of course not.
And see if we can find it. I know where it is, but I can't do it right now. So guys, this is all based on neuroscience. So consider this. If you were timing the difference between me trying to calm somebody down, hey, take it easy, man, micro flinch on the attack, I push away the danger, and then I go, I got to get into a stance or a boxing stance, whatever it is, versus flinch, push away danger, and then shift that. When the cross extensor chain fires, the fingers splay, the arms come out. So we looked at that and we said, well, let's turn that into a palm strike. Pushing away danger looks like a shitty palm strike. Flinching to cover your head can be continued into an elbow. Turning away from danger can be continued into an elbow. It's very, very subtle. And there are people who look at that and they go, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But there's a shift for those, this is especially nerdy for you instructors out there. If you can attach an instinctive primal gross motor movement to a complex motor skill, that the refractory delay between stimulus response and the conversion is going to be faster. Hopefully that made sense to some of you. Think about this. I flinch, and now I decide I'm going to punch the guy in the face. I make a fist. So I've gone from extensor chain to flexor chain, made a fist, which in many cases will slow down that movement because there's flexion as opposed to extension. The fastest thing you could do is push away danger. Anyways, these are some examples. I'm not knocking boxing. I'm not knocking the crane stance. I'm just saying when we aren't moving preemptively, right? So I'm in a situation, I go, holy shit, I better move first because this is definitely happening. This is imminent danger. And I'm standing there and pretend my mic here, you guys can't see it, but pretend my mic here is the bad guy. And I'm going, hey, take it easy. And all of a sudden, the guy says, I'm gonna fucking kill you, man. And he reaches down, I glance down, I see him reaching for a knife, me going, whack, and nailing him is preemptive. There I can launch a complex motor skill. But if I'm still gathering intel and I'm going, hey, what's going on? And the attack happens, because of my situational awareness was compromised, the startle flinch will deploy in protection of the self. So again, the nucleus of all this is, what does your body want to do prior to any training? It's going to flinch and cover. This is part of this. Let me take a moment and find this because let me pause here because I want to show you the slide here. Probably doesn't matter. Well, I'm going to show it to you another time. because I don't want to waste time here. I actually want to get to some questions. So screw that. Okay. We have a really cool slide from some doctors. Elisa, you have 9 copies of it somewhere in PowerPoints. It's in your PDR PowerPoint. It's a black slide from it's all about neuroanatomy. Jenny knows where it is. But let's find it for next time. And oh, look at this. We got bots on here, guys. We got 69girls.xyz. It's the best adult dating site online. So excited that these guys popped in here. Okay, let's go for some questions here. Elisa, are you tracking any of the questions? Did we get any good questions in here?
Yeah, no questions so far, just
No questions.
statements.
Guys, I want to keep these short. This type of talk where I log in here really short out of respect for your time. It's 1 o'clock. I don't, where there's time zones all over the place here. But if you've got a question, please pop it in there. And I'm so excited that we've got spam and bots in here. Nobody click on that shit. Scott, the jump back kick. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Okay. No question. Let's see this. Nothing, guys. Let me scan Instagram here. Instagram. Do you guys have any questions? Got some good comments here. Cool. Guys, if you're tracking this here, if you go to my bio, there's links to more information and more content there. Rock and roll. No questions here. How come there's no questions? I guess there's no questions. Let me see. I wrote out a bunch of notes here. Let me see if there's anything here I want to share with you here. No, I think I covered everything I wanted to say. So, I got a question here. Tony, I really appreciate your live streams. What martial arts do you believe complement your startle flinch training? That's a great question. So we always say spear is a bridge to your next move. So for those of you on Instagram, if you missed that, the question was, what martial arts do you believe complement the startle flinch training? We construct everything from 30,000 foot. You know the metaphor, the 30,000 foot view, the 20,000 foot view, the 10, right, and 0. And the idea here is, that's the slide, Elisa, in Instagram. Don't put it up yet. Maybe we'll pop it up at the end. But so I have a clip we use sometimes of Frank Shamrock in his prime in the UFC fighting. I think it was it Kevin Smith? What was his last name? But he was an Olympic wrestler who ran across the ring, came charging across the ring and did probably the first Superman punch that St. Pierre made famous. And Shamrock, who's a great grappler, this is Frank, not Ken, startle flinch covers as the punch sails and bounces off of his arm, and he falls into the guy's Superman punch, careens off his arms, and they fall into a shitty tangle. They fall to the ground, and Shamrock armbars him or triangle chokes him. I think it was an armbar. It was like, at the time, the fastest UFC finish. It was like 24 seconds. Now, Shamrock never trained with me, just like most of you have never trained with me, but you all flinch. The attack surprised him. He wasn't expecting the wrestler to strike and to sprint across the ring. You know how fast you can close 10, 15 feet. It's like less than a second. And it's like, what the fuck? Boom. His hands came up. They fell together. And then the startle flinch turned into what we call that organic airbag, pushing away danger. They collided, stuck together, and then that became the transition to a submission. So I'm giving you a very, very literal answer here. What martial arts do you believe complement your startle flinch training? The startle flinch needs to be looked at like the organic or biological airbag in any combat sport or violent encounter. I've got videos of Ali flinching. I've got pictures of, I got this amazing picture of Hearns and throwing a left hook as Hagler's throwing a southpaw lead hook. And it's an aerial shot where they're both coming together. And it's the shot that, if you've never seen that fight, Google Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler, one of the greatest fucking boxing matches ever. But Hearns, you see his face going, he's got his eyes closed, he's grimacing, and his head is turning away. So he's flinching emotion. We flinch when we're scared. And I'm going to say something very heavy here and very deep. Your survival system flinches when it's scared. It flinches because of fear. But it doesn't mean that you don't have courage. These guys are gladiators. Hearns has been hit before. Why is he flinching? He's not afraid of Hagler. They're going toe to toe. But his nervous system is react. So there's two fear triggers that influence startle flinch. You're walking around in the woods and all of a sudden you hear a rattlesnake and your body goes, fuck, right? And it flinches. You don't have time to be psychologically afraid yet. Your instinctive survival system was afraid immediately, and it triggered the startle flinch, fight, flight, freeze. Your psychological system hasn't had time to produce the fear. So it's startle in the brain, flinch in the body. This is a long answer to say the spear system is a bridge to your next move. The next move must always be referenced or based on what is the scenario. What is it? Those of you who do the garage gym with us, those of you who train with us know that we always ask this, what's the scenario? Because somebody comes up to me and puts his arm around to grab me. And here's the question. I don't know your name because your moniker is Crusader 34. I don't think your parents named you Crusader 34. If they did, it's a crazy name, and I understand why you need to learn how to defend yourself. Just kidding. So someone comes up and they reach it to grab you. Is this a judo class? And you got scared? Oh, no, let me grab you. We're learning how to fall. Is it a jiu-jitsu tournament? And you're playing with lapels, and all of a sudden the person moves and your body does a micro flinch to jam it? Or is it an abduction? Is somebody grabbing you and trying to pull you into a van, or pull you or shove you into a trunk, or drag you into a room to rape you, or take you to a secondary crime scene? In other words, all three scenarios. And all of you have done jiu-jitsu, and that's a lot of you. Think about the first time somebody went to choke you, to show you, like, let's say, like a lateral vascular neck restraint, a rear strangle, and they put their arm around you. You all went like this. You went, ugh, no, don't do this. That's the lame startle flinch, because it wasn't true violence. But our body's nervous system was, no, I don't want to do that, which ironically is part of the best counter for that. That's another call. So, what martial arts do you believe complement startle flinch training? Let me say this, and I'm not being a dick when I say this. Startle flinch, let's call it spear, because we've done the pioneering research. Spear training complements every martial art. Spear is a bridge. If you don't weather the ambush and convert the flinch, you don't get to Krav Maga, Thai boxing, Sambo, jiu-jitsu. Like, if it's a real violent encounter and we're all standing there, I've done this metaphor before 100 times, we got a boxer, we got a karate guy, and all of a sudden, like, we're standing there and someone jumps, out of a door and opens fire on all of us. Every single one of us, regardless of our martial art training, does this. Fuck. We all flinch exactly the same, regardless of what country we're from, regardless of our culture, regardless of our martial art bias. Now, after that, to solve the continuation of the violent encounter, we need to have tools. We teach our own philosophy, but that's why literally 100% of the people that train with us at the highest level, well, I shouldn't say 100 because we've got, I think 3 or 4 people on our training team that wanted to make their communities safer and started from, I've got no training. They started for themselves, and now they go, I want to teach family, friends, people in my community. But 99% of the people who train with us are black belts and experienced martial artists who recognize, holy shit, startle flinch can help enhance my survivability during sudden violence. So if I flip your question around, it's all martial arts are the safety of the student, regardless of martial arts, is enhanced if we insert spear training like in the forefront, like at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs level, that baseline. And I gave the metaphor last class, like your body is your 67 Mustang, your brain is the nav system, but that's your strategy. I'll do this, I'll do that. But what's missing in this metaphor is the 67 Mustang didn't have an airbag. So think about the sudden violent attack for everybody who's still listening. As like you're sitting there, you're a good driver in a fucking rock solid car, and all of a sudden, whack, you're hit at the wrong speed. Then that could end it. Your skill and the car had nothing to do with you avoiding the accident. And what's maybe going to save you there is the airbag. So hopefully that makes sense. I went way too long, but the spear complements the training. Oh, it's Randy. Hey man, life-changing. I thank you as you're passing it on. So let's pop this up here. So Crusader 34, Randy, boom. And I'm glad, I love hearing that. I love hearing that. Those of you who want to taste some of this, get on our newsletter, because we announced stuff like yesterday we did our newsletter announcement. We have a 2-hour Essentials of Personal Safety call. It's $99 for your whole family to do it. So it's just a live stream. It's not a video, it's live interacting with one of my team. So we're really engaged with you. And you could have, if you got, 3 kids and you and your wife, the 5 of you, you want to watch it, you learn situational awareness, fear management, introduction to the spear, how to protect yourself in and around the home and your door. Where my team is dropping stuff in here. Those of you on Instagram, go up to the bio. You can get to our training calendar there, and also our newsletter there. Guys, I wanted to keep this super short. I don't think there's any other important questions here. I got one here. When am I coming to the UK? I've got a team in the UK. We're always doing training in the UK. When am I personally coming? I don't travel a lot in general, except for our big camps. I did do, just before the craziness in the world, that we had 52 trainers in the UK. I flew over. So I get hosting requests from all over the world, but I've got 20 trainers on our mobile training team. Right now, we've got a course going on in Washington State. We've got a course coming up in the UK for public safety, law enforcement only, SWAT, military in November. So, but the open courses, if you want to host a Be Your Own Bodyguard or a scenario course, we can make that happen. Just, send us an email or go to our website. There's a hosting form there and we'll make it happen. For me to go somewhere, just with how busy I am, running all the different verticals in the company, it's got to be a big gig that kind of supports me taking the time away from the company. Let me see if there's no other questions. Let me wrap this up. Even if there are questions, I'll try to pop in after and see. Guys, if you like this format and you like this stuff here, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The team's going to post the YouTube channel there, because we're going to start expanding the stuff. We can do longer stuff, more interactive stuff on the Tony Blauer and the Spear System YouTube channel. Please share this with your social media. Let's grow this. Remember, like I said in the beginning, the reason I want to do the live is because I can do this. I can interact and do specific questions. We will have on these shows, I'm going to be inviting very famous martial artists, self-defense experts, military, law enforcement. We're going to get some, I mentioned last call, some of the great minds that we're going to get on here. I know Marcus logged in here. If you're following me online, you know, he and I fuck with each other all the time. Marcus, I want you on soon. So, you know, we were going to start our own show called Grumpy Old Retired Martial Artist, but we're not retired. So, but we're going to get on here and just bitch because we're both old. But it'll be badass. It'll be fun. And what else? Is that the link to that? I think so. Lots of stuff there. If you're interested in training with us and getting certified, if you're interested in high gear training, all this stuff, guys, we do so much stuff. And I get sucked into questions. We got 3 questions here. I got this great. In what circumstances? I love this. I can't stop. I think we're going to get kicked off at 60 minutes on Instagram. Thank you all for logging in here. But let me see this. I should read this here. In what circumstances practice things like spinning fist can be detrimental because analogous to Hicks law increases the chance of failing? Patricia, those of you, I read that really quickly kind of to myself just as I was signing off. So I'm kind of rushing with my brain here. I think I said it earlier, but just to be clear, I would never ask anyone to do a spinning move ever in a real violent encounter. And if you're a martial artist, think about if I asked you, hey man, why didn't you do spinning back fist while you were sparring with so-and-so? If you were honest and you had the self-awareness, you would say, I was going to do it, but I just thought, you know, I would telegraph and get punched in the back of the head. I didn't think I could pull it off against this person. This is you on purpose sparring, and fear made you it restricted the effort. What type of fear will you have in a surprise attack in a real situation? Which is why the only time I would ever endorse spinning is because you are already spinning. The rotational force of turning, right? Like I demoed, somebody takes a swing at me and clips me and I turn here and I'm stuck against the wall. And now my peripheral vision picks you up and I go wham and I come back and I fucking rip that shot. But I don't do it on purpose. It was a adapted conversion based on the fact that I'm already rotating and I need to return to center. I need to return to center to face the threat. I might as well, on the way in, hit the person with my elbow, my forearm, or my hand. I'm coming back anyways. And this is the type of nuanced, behaviorally based movement we teach in the garage gym and the spear classes. How to weaponize the startle flinch. How do you weaponize it? That was it, turning away. And then the full spin would be because the inertia from the initial spin made me step forward and turn. I don't know if I have the room here, but I got surprised here. I got clipped. I got hit. Someone swung at me with a baseball bat, and I went slam, and I fell forward. And now I'm picking them up this way, and the turn comes around there. I'm doing it super slow so you can visualize, and I don't break shit here. But in other words, the spin is already happening. How can I capitalize and exploit what's already happening? The tricky thing here for people who don't understand, stimulus gets introduced too quickly. Executive function is hijacked. I can't access the complex motor skill. My reactive brain is responding to this. Is it an amygdala hijack, a limbic system override? You want to get fucking nerdy? It doesn't matter. We all know if I say to you, look out, you turn away from danger, like in the baseball picture. But I would never tell somebody, do your spinning back kick, do your spinning back fist in a street fight. That was truly a violent encounter. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to end this here. And hopefully you dug that. Again, if you like this, please share it. Help me grow this. Starting next week, we were wanting to do a test for weekend versus weekday. If you would post, would you prefer weekend or weekday? All the internet experts, they on the internet say during the week is better than the weekend, but I can't tell by the logins here, if it made any difference, if it was during the day or if we wanted at night, because the time zones are all over the place. These stay live, so you can always log in. You just can't interact with us if it's the posted recording. But help us grow it. If you find this of value, if you've got questions, personal questions, you can DM us. I prefer if it's a generic question, post it in the form. We'll get in there. And what we will start doing is announcing the time so you can plan your schedule or plan to listen on it. But like I said, they are recorded. They are recorded, so you can always listen to it after if you can. Just like our garage gym, we do them 4 days a week live, but we record it so you can watch it as many times as you want in whatever time zone you want. Okay, everybody, be safe, take care, and we'll see you on the next broadcast. And how do I stop here? This one will be easier to stop. Peace out. And we didn't show that video, that clip. Stick it up there. Just we'll wind down with that, and I'll show you guys this here. I'll swip that here. Elise, are you going to stick that up? I don't see it yet.
I'm testing.
Okay, there we go.
It's adding here.
Okay, so this is actually. Can you go full screen on that? There we go. So this is actually language from a neuroanatomy. And again, I don't expect you guys to read that if you can, but startle flinch response to spinal level reflex that can anatomically define, blah, 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 triggered by, again, and I love there's certain people out there that make fun of our use of Hick's law, and they say there's way more things that trigger flinches, blah, blah, blah. This is from a neuroanatomy book, auditory, tactile, visual, right? And then the extensor strength is engaged to disengage from noxious stimuli via the cross extensor, spinal level reflex, and flexor reflex. Engaged at different rates depending on the motive stimuli. And listen to this line, they're uniform across the human species, regardless of age and training. That's fucking fantastic. And that's why we make people safer sooner. Okay. Rock and roll. I'm going to end on that note. And peace out, everybody. Take care.